are. Okay, guys, wait, let me put this further down because that is a little too close to my face. All right. That looks okay. All right, welcome, guys. It's Trev here. Today's Friday, and you know on Fridays we do a roast and reason with Trev. And so I'm going to do my roast and reason today. There are several topics we're going to talk about while I make some apple pumpkin bread. I'm going to make apple pumpkin bread. Now, I've made apple bread, I've made pumpkin bread, but never the two. So today I'm going to be making an apple pumpkin bread. But I am going to also be using, usually I do my stuff from scratch. Well, today is one of those days when I'm in a hurry, when I really have to get going. So I thought, okay, let me try this Libby's pumpkin bread. So I'm going to try the Libby's pumpkin bread. I've never tried it before. So I am not sure how it turns out. I don't know if any of you have ever tried it. On the box, it looks a little bit dry-ish on the box, but I hope the bread isn't as dry looking or tasting as it looks on the box. But I'm going to follow their instructions with a little modification. You know me, I'm extra like that, yeah. I can't follow you to a T. I gotta put a little extra something in there. So I'm going to be modifying this recipe somewhat. They say to just add eggs, oil, and water. We never add water to our cake. We don't add water. We substitute water for something mild like milk or half and half, some buttermilk, something that it will add some moisture to your cake, not water that might dry out and make your cake really dry. So we're not going to do that. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And oil, usually when you cook with oil, when you bake with oil, you find that the surface of your cake is usually oily, but the inside oftentimes come out dry. Maybe drier than you would expect, maybe not too dry to make it not palatable, but a little drier than it would if you use butter, margarine. So I like to use melted margarine. I combine it with yogurt, with sour cream, stuff like that. Something that's gonna add some moisture to my cake. So come on in, guys, come on in and join me on my channel as I make this pumpkin bread, but I'm going to be adding apples to it. So it's going to be called an apple pumpkin bread. We're going to see how this one turns out. All right, so a couple of things we need here. Let me turn this down so that once y'all come in, y'all can see what I'm doing here. All right, this is my little mixing bowl. And here I have the mix. This is the pumpkin cake mix. Okay, they say you need the mix and you need 4 eggs. So I have my eggs right here. We're going to be using 4 eggs. And they say we need, let's see what else they say. We need 4 eggs. We need a cup of water. We're not using water. We're going to be using this half and half combined with some sour cream. And also we're not using vegetable oil. We are going to be using my favorite Jamaican. This is chiffon. If you're Jamaican, you grow up eating chiffon butter. We love chiffon margarine. It has this peculiar flavor that most Jamaicans, especially people of my generation, are familiar with the taste. So we're going to use melted chiffon. I have some melted chiffon over here. We're going to use melted chiffon instead of the vegetable oil. So let's get to cracking to make our apple pumpkin bread. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, this is our batter here. Let's put it in. They say this is supposed to make 2 loaves. I have my bundt pan ready. I'm going to make one in the bundt pan. I might be a little bit extra, but I probably should have left some to make some muffins later. What do you think? Maybe? All right. So I'm just going to, yeah. You know what? I'm using all of it. So that's how you do with decision making. It's like, should I not? Maybe not. You don't know. You're not sure. And then you just say, you know what? To hell with it. Let me just do it. So that's me right now. It's like, let me just use the entire packet. It says it will give me 2 loaves. But we will see. If anything, we can make some muffins out of it. Okay? The next thing they want us to add to it, guys. This is supposed to be the pumpkin that we're supposed to add to this batter here. So we're going to be adding our pumpkin. I should have cut that before, but I didn't. But y'all will forgive me, won't you? All right, so here I am. Okay, this is what the pumpkin looks like in there. I've never used it before, but today is the day I'm going to be using this pumpkin. Usually when I make this, I use the pumpkin, fresh pumpkin that I cook and cream all by myself. But hey, that's not the deal for today. Wait, I need to find me a little knife I had right here. Here we go. Now we're going to be adding our eggs. That's 1, 2, 3. They say to do it the reverse way, but guess what? It is just me. I do things my way. Let's see how it turns out. And instead of using 4 eggs, I am using 5. That's the 5 eggs. I'm going to be using half and half instead of water. And they want me to use 1 cup of water. So I'm using 1 cup of half and half. Okay, they say I need to use a half a cup of oil. We are not using oil. This is a 1/4 cup of sour cream, and I'm going to be adding another 1/4 cup of melted margarine to it. I need my pumpkin bread to be moist, so I am not going to do as the box says, guys. But while I'm doing this, can we just chat a little bit? Can't we? Wait, I didn't turn on my thing here. That. Okay. Hold on. All right, that's about it. Okay, so here I have my sour cream and my melted margarine. And I will add this to my batter. Now remember, guys, you can always do things the way you like. There doesn't have to be a hard and fast where somebody says do this and you just follow blindly and just do it. Go ahead and do it your way. They wanted me to combine all the wet ingredients first and then add the dry ingredients. But the rebel in me says don't. Therefore, I've changed it up. Now for my apples. You might wonder what kind of apples I'm going to add to it. So I have some caramel apple. That's the apple that you usually use to make an apple pie. And I have mashed it out. Here I have mashed out some of that apple with this potato masher. And I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup of this apple in the batter. All right. Because we want our bread to be nice and moist, and we don't want our bread to be hard. Okay? And what we're going to talk about, guys, so I want to talk to you all about the stuff that's been happening this week. What has happened this week? Well, number one, remember last week we spoke about that lady who was beating the man with the machete? Well, she was arrested for that behavior, where she hit that man with that machete like she was going to kill him. Had me scared the whole time, thinking she was probably going to accidentally chop the man the way she was hitting him with the machete. So now she has been arrested for that action. I am just trying to turn on the mixer here. And I'm going to add some additional spices to my batter. Here I go. This is some nutmeg. You know I have to grate some fresh nutmeg into whatever I am doing. Fresh nutmeg is always at the top of the list. Fresh nutmeg. A teaspoon of rose water. A teaspoon of vanilla. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more vanilla won't hurt. And then some cinnamon here. I'm just sprinkling some cinnamon there because we want the flavor of our pumpkin bread to be right. This is some kind of a mixed essence and an almond spice and all that. I'm just going to tip a little bit in there. I'm sure it will bring out the Caribbean flavor. In this, it won't hurt. And then we're going to mix this. And guess what, guys? I'm going to turn on my oven at this time. So guys, I want you to take a look and wait, I'm not sure why my oven won't come on, but let's see. Start. On. Bake. Okay. Now I got it. Let me just mix this together. the consistency of our bread looks quite good to me. All right, I'm just going to sweep down the excess that's on the side of my bowl here. I'm going to sweep it down into the bowl so I can have most of my batter into my bread. And this smells really, really, really good, guys. I really love the smell of it. I hope after I bake it, it tastes as good as it smells. Because, boy, it really does smell good. And with the additional spices I put in there, it smells super, super, super delicious already. All right, guys, some other things we're going to talk about. Some other things we're going to talk about today. Did y'all listen to Unstoppable on Wednesday night? Boy, oh boy. I was listening to Unstoppable Wednesday night, and I honestly speaking, guys, I am open to, listening to whatever other people have to say. There are opinions abound in this world. You just have to sift through and see which opinion you want to embrace and which you don't want to embrace. Wednesday night, as I sat there and listened to these people talking, I couldn't help but ask myself, like, is this for real? I mean, I have had dreams. Y'all know I talk a lot about how I dream. I dream a lot. I don't know what to make of them, so most times I just share them with my family members and stuff. Sometimes stuff happens, sometimes it don't. Sometimes I dream about like people I haven't seen in a long time, and then suddenly I get to hear about them or something like that. But I can't consider that is any form of clairvoyance. It's just that I dream. I guess I have a clean spirit, a pure spirit. When I go to sleep, the angels, the good spirits sort of show me stuff in my sleep. But I have never for the life of me heard anything like what was being said Wednesday night. I can't even remember some of the things that were being said because they were like just going over my head. Like, what in the world? I mean, to me, my interpretation of the whole thing is just like if you were as the guy says that he used to do obia, meaning that he would conduct rituals that would ensure that people get sick, die. That's my interpretation of obia. That's what people do when they put obia. That's my interpretation, and I don't think I am alone. I mean, when people do obia on people, it is because what they do is they cause harm and that sort of thing to people. I don't know of obia being something good. Like you're going to obia somebody, you're going to do them something good for them to be successful and that sort of thing. But a while back, not to divert from what I was saying, but a while back, I read an article from... what's this guy's name again? I read an article from, oh my God, I can't remember his name. The one who has the Tam Fam. I don't remember his name. I don't know. Whenever I have to remember something, that's when it goes out the window. But I read an article from him a few years ago, and that was a beautifully written article about our culture and how obia has played a significant part in our culture, which is true, where people who want to be successful, they go to these people, not to hurt anybody, but to ensure that the favors of the universe are with them. so that they can be successful in whatever they do, so that they can prosper, so that they can make the right decisions, so that they can, in essence, be amongst those who make the decisions. And so in that article, he was saying that, obia is not just what people do to hurt people. And as Jamaicans, we know that we have heard of this. People go to clairvoyance to hear about stuff that they believe has happened, will happen, that kind of stuff. But these people that we were listening to Wednesday night, we're like on a different scale, I tell you. We're on a different scale. I mean, ask me my opinion. I say the living not have no dealing with the dead, and the dead not have no dealing with the living. If you're dead, when you're dead, you go to a cemetery. Nobody not supposed to go to a cemetery or wherever go interfere with dead people. And if they are saying that these spirits don't just get up on their own and roam and do stuff, somebody has to invite them and entertain them and instruct them to do stuff. Why people interfering with dead people? Why them interfering with spirits? Like, why? Why? We are on this side and they are gone over on that side. Why would you want to go interfere with them? Why? What is the intrigue with the dead people? What is the intrigue with commanding dead spirits, commanding spirits to act on your behalf, to go harm and hurt and injure other living human beings? To me, that doesn't make much sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. So these kinds of things, when I hear them, it makes me very, very uncomfortable to know that there are people around you, there are people you are associated with, who quite likely would be engaging in this kind of activity, would be going to seek out these people who are going to beseech spirits. And don't get me wrong, guys, I've read the Bible, and if there's no other book to go by, we go by the Bible. I've read the Bible, and I've read where, there were sorcerers and, people were consulting with the people who would call up spirits and that sort of thing. So I know from having read the Bible that it does exist. I don't have to believe it. I don't believe it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That doesn't mean that other people don't study it and are able to bring up opinions and philosophies about how it works, how it happens, what they can do, what they can't do. This guy says he used to be an Obia man. Now he's helping people. So he's like, he was in the Garden of Eden, maybe. His spirit was, or something like that. Because now you would say that he knows good and evil. So that's what's going to make this guy dangerous. He knows good and he knows evil. So he knows how to make you better if somebody has, say, put Obi on you. Let's just say it the way it is, rather than trying to pretty it up. So if somebody puts Obi on you, he knows how. He knows how to put the Obia, so he would know what was done to cause harm to you. So on the other hand, he can heal you because he would know what was done, so he knows what to reverse. And this kind of stuff is just crazy. And if you ask me what I would say, living people need to leave dead people alone. Bury them, burn them, whatever the case may be. It's over. Leave them alone. When I hear them say like a spirit in a car holding on to a steering wheel. Seriously? A spirit? Why, if these people are God-fearing people, why are their spirits, evil spirits, so involved in their daily activities? Why? No spirit can't come near me, No dopey can't come near me. You understand? Why in the name of Jesus you have so many experiences with these spirits, these negative energy that is trying to harm you or trying to harm somebody around you? Since you all are saying God and you're able to cast out negative spirits, why these negative spirits are coming around y'all? Why? Are trouble not gonna trouble dead people? Is that what it is? Like, I don't understand it. You say you're no longer doing obia, you saying God now, and in the same breath, you're saying there are ghosts that are coming around having intercourse with you. There are ghosts. I mean, I can't even repeat the stuff these people say, because this is like just. But guys, just so y'all know, these things do exist. They do exist, because if there wasn't an existence and a following and a belief in it, there wouldn't be so many people who are engaged in this kind of behavior. There wouldn't be so many people who are engaged in this kind of thing. Now, I don't have no time for that kind of thing. If you want to pass your exam, study your book. If you want to be successful, get a job. Go to school, get a job. If you want to not be sick, take care of your health. Go to the doctor. I mean, that's what I say from this standpoint. But from another point of view, we could say it's up to you. You do what suits you. If you feel as though, well, you need to consult with a clairvoyant, it's up to you. I can't tell nobody not to do what they feel like doing. Y'all do whatever you feel like doing. But my only thing I say is dead people need to stay in the cemetery by themselves. Living people need to stop interfering with dead people. If that's what you all are doing, stop interfering with dead people. Leave them alone. Let them rest in peace until whether or not there's going to be a judgment. I don't know. The Bible says so. We believe so. I still don't know. The rebel in me says the only judgment that you're going to get is while you're living. When you die, you're going to be buried. Your body is gone. You are gone. Whatever you have left behind, that's going to be your legacy. Leave a good legacy in your children. Leave a good legacy in your relationships. Leave a good legacy with your grandchildren, your family, your relationships with other individuals. Leave a good legacy. And that's it, where that is concerned. All right, next topic. I think I spent too long on that topic. That topic wasn't that important. But we talk about the young woman who was arrested for having beaten that guy with the machete. She deserved to be arrested. What she did was unconscionable, unreasonable. It was rude. It was rotten. I mean, to be beating a man with a machete, that was terrible. What else came about in the news this week, guys? I haven't seen much that came out in the news this week. I know Jamaica is trying to reopen the entertainment sector. I know the minister of the opposition he has an opinion about it. Is Jamaica in a position right now to open up? I am not sure. I am not there. I'm just going by what I see online. Why is there such an effort to open the entertainment sector? Why isn't there an effort to reopen schools? There are several children who haven't gone to school in Jamaica now in a whole year. They don't have computers and they can't go to school. There are children in Jamaica right now, as we speak, who have not had formal education in a year because of the coronavirus. And people are worried about opening up the entertainment sector so them can go broke out and get wild and turn up on them head and all these things. But we're not talking about the children. The children are going to fall by the wayside if they do not get their education back on track. I am more concerned about the children than I am about any entertainer going up there to sing. And there are many other avenues you all can take. Many other ways. Go stream on Spotify. Go stream on YouTube. Go stream somewhere. Go Put your music somewhere. We will listen. We will buy. Go put it on out there. You don't have to have a show. Go have a live show on YouTube. Go have a live show somewhere. We will watch. But our concern is about the children. What is happening to the children? I see somebody say the Prime Minister has left Jamaica on the stove. That was a funny one for the week. That was the funniest one I saw this week. If anybody see the Prime Minister, they should tell him he forgot Jamaica on the stove. But that was funny. But anyway, we are concerned about the children. We are not concerned about entertainers wanting to go up and go sing some nonsense and stuff. Sing it on Insta, sing it on YouTube, sing it, do it. We will listen. We will purchase if we want to. We are worried about the children. That's my concern. So unless you're talking about when they're going to reopen school, I saw an article that said they're going to reopen for the children who are going to do face-to-face or those who are going to have exams. But what about the younger children? I mean, are we making sure everybody has a laptop? I mean, some people don't even have internet. I mean, the parents are not working. How are they going to pay for internet for these children? So there are a lot of challenges in Jamaica. I see the corona meter is going up. There is a lot of there are several individuals in Jamaica right now with the coronavirus. So people have died. And also one very, very interesting story that I saw. I'm probably late on that story, but I saw it late last week of the woman who said she was being kidnapped in Jamaica. Boy, I tell you guys, sometimes some of the stories really do pass me by. So if you all come across the story, send them over to my WhatsApp, you know, or email me, whatever the case may be. But sometimes the stories, I have my head planted in a book, and a lot of time, by the time I take my head out of the book and look on the internet, everything has passed me by. It's the truth. But anywho, that woman who was in the hotel in Jamaica and sent out a broadcast to say that she was being kidnapped and held a hostage in Jamaica, I saw that story. By the time I saw the story, I actually saw all the developments and everything like that, because the woman was in Jamaica, tested positive for corona, was being held back because she wouldn't be accepted into America with a positive coronavirus, with a positive testing. She would not be allowed back into America until she tested positive. So actually, until she tested negative. So actually, this woman was on quarantine. And instead of just accepting that she was on quarantine, 1 second, guys. All right, we're going to do what we call a ride and whistle, meaning while I talk, I can do what I'm doing here. And this is my fancy little bun pan. Yes, because I'm fancy and I'm... Hear it? Because I'm extra like that. Yeah. So I'm just going to spray my bun pan here. And then put my batter in. There is the batter, guys. We're not putting all of this in here. We are going to make some in another pan because I don't want this to flow over. Okay, this looks good, smells good too. All right, we're going to bang this a little bit, get the air out. Okay, level it like that, and there it is. Oops, in the oven it goes, guys, in the oven. Also, I have another little pan here that I'm going to spray this little pan here and just put the rest of the batter in here and call it a day. So this one is going to come out with the bread shape. Okay. And I love this little spatula here. It cleans the pan, so you don't have to worry about wasting anything. Nothing gets wasted when I'm done with this spatula here. It cleans the pan way, way better than anything else would. Okay, guys, there we go. Let me get a little piece of napkin here and clean up my mess. All right, so we are talking about that young lady who said that she was being kidnapped in Jamaica. She was being held against her will. She was a JetBlue flight attendant, and she sort of, you know, said all kinds of derogatory stuff about Jamaica, you know, in her post. And there were people of influence who were taking up her cause and believing that she was being held against her will in Jamaica, that she was being held hostage. When all it was just this woman being held back in the country so she could undergo quarantine because she had a positive testing for the coronavirus. And this is how people can defame other people's names and character, just like that woman did to Jamaica for those few days, and spread all those lies and had people believing. You know, we know we have a crime problem in Jamaica. We know that. There is a crime problem. There is just too many guns. There are just too many young men with no sense of purpose. They are no good for themselves. They are no good for their families. They are no good for their communities. They are no good for their country. They are just up to no good. There are mothers who are shielding them, sisters who are shielding them, brothers, wives, girlfriends. And the only thing these people are doing for society is nothing good. They are procreating, they're making children, and these children are not having any role models. These children are being brought up the same way these men are living their lives. That's how the children are being brought up. And it is very sad, because I have seen my country gone from just a place where love and peace, there was always crime, but it wasn't this bad. But over the last few years, I tell you, where the guns are coming from, how the guns are getting through to Jamaica, I don't know. But there are just so many guns, and so many young men are gravitating towards the gun, the crime, and the violence. And the police is not getting to them fast enough. That's my opinion. Why isn't the police getting to them fast enough? They are being shielded. Oh yes, they are being shielded. And whenever the police gets one of them, you hear everybody come out and cry. He was such a good young man. He was such a nice young man. He was so good. He was such a blessing to the community. Always. And then they try to say the police has killed the wrong person. The police is this. The police is that. Have nothing bad to say about the police. Okay? A lot of us as mothers, we need to start taking responsibilities for the actions of our children before they become adults. And what I find that mothers do, we shield them when they are children. When they do wrong, we don't correct them. We let them continue to do wrong. We do not open a path for them. We do not open a path to success for our children. We leave them up to the masses that be, as my grandmother would say. And whatever happens, happens. And then when your children become adults, You haven't set a foundation for them to be productive members of society. You let them loose on society, and now they are adults and they have no sense of purpose. They go out there and they do whatever, and then you still shield them. Mothers hiding the guns for their sons. Wives and girlfriends hiding. Because guess what? He's not killing you. You say, oh, I'm good, he's not killing me. So because he's not killing you, it's okay for him to go out there and terrorize the rest of society. Where is our civic responsibility as women, as mothers? Where is our civic responsibility? Another thing is too, I have noticed that the criminals are getting less and less time behind bars. Why is that so? I wish I had the answer. I don't know. Why are they being given less and less prison sentence? Now, for somebody caught with a gun, as former Commissioner Radcliffe said the other day, if you are caught with an illegal gun, why do you have an illegal gun? Why do you feel the need to have an illegal gun? What is your plan for an illegal gun? You intend to commit some kind of illegal activities, and therefore you need to pay for having that gun. Where you get it, why you have it, what you want it for, what you going to do with it? I don't know. Why do you feel the need to have an illegal gun? If you are a law-abiding citizen and you want to protect yourself and you get you a legal firearm, you're a legal firearm holder, that says to me that you intend to protect yourself, your property, and your family from the bad guy. But if you have an illegal gun, you want to commit a crime, then throw the gun away, police can't find out because they can't trace the gun, they don't know who the owner is, that sort of thing. Are you intending to engage in some kind of criminal activity if you have an illegal gun? And that is to be looked into. I mean, people who commit crimes are to be given long enough sentences to ensure that they are no longer a threat to society. Yes, they need to. There's no point in somebody killing somebody and getting 5 years, 10 years. Why? If you take another person's life for absolutely no reason, terrorize your community, and the judge gives you 10 years and you are 29 years old, you come out when you are 39. You are still young, you're still robust, you're still strong. You can still do a lot. You come out at 40, you are not rehabilitated. Where is the training you got in jail, in prison? What are you going to do? How are you going to contribute to society? If those ground rules are not set before your release, there is no other way but you are going to return to a life of crime. You are going to go back to what you know. And because you've been in prison for so long, you are separated from the outside world, separated from society. A lot of times that also takes away the human element. It has a negative bearing on the human element of these people. And so they don't see you and I as human beings, really. They see us as just something to rob, something to kill. That makes it very difficult for the police and for society on a whole to deal with. It is a sad situation in Jamaica. It is very, very sad. My heart grieves every day for my little country. My heart grieves every day, because every day I wake up, I look online, there is somebody else getting killed, there's somebody else who got killed, and there's somebody else in the hospital fighting for their lives. It is just just heartbreaking. And my country is just too small and too beautiful to have this problem, this overwhelming problem. And so we need to do something about it. And nobody can fix our society but us. And we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to leave for our children and our children's children? What is going to be our legacy? You know, we have children, and we have no plans. We don't take leaps. We don't, we don't go out on a limb. We just have them. The days when people just have children are long gone, people. Long gone. Once upon a time, people used to have 10 children because they need children to help them in the fields with the farming and that sort of thing. And the more members of a family means the more hands there is to plant the crops, to reap the crops, to sell, and there was always food. Nowadays, these kids, they don't want to plant. Their hands shouldn't get dirty. They don't want to plant. They're not going out in a farm. They're not planting. They're not reaping. They're not doing anything. Give them a computer. Give them a computer to sit in front of. They will do that all day. But they're not doing much else. They are not liking the outdoors because we are taking that element. We have taken that element out of child rearing. Children are being cooped up in the house. You're not seeing children playing soccer, playing cricket outside, playing baseball outside. The kids are sitting in the house, eating, getting fat, and being unhealthy, staying on the computer. The youngest of children these days are wearing glasses because their eyesight, the magnet from all these gadgets, it's already damaged their eyesight. I mean, a lot of us have these children. We don't make any plans. We just send them loose on society once they turn 18, having made no plans for how they're going to live the rest of their life, how they're going to take care of themselves and the families that they're going to have. And that, my friends, need to be addressed. We need to address something like that for the sake of our generations to come and society on a whole. Now, we saw that young lady, I went off tangent there because I was talking about the young lady who tried to degrade and defame Jamaica, talking about she was being held against her will. Well, we saw where JetBlue fired her. I am very sorry that she lost her job. But there has to be a price to pay. You can't just do stuff like that and expect to get away with it. There is a price to pay. I'm very sorry. The price was your job, but I'm sure you knew what you were doing when you do it, and it was very vicious. It was very malicious. It was unkind. It was not nice. And so you need to learn a lesson not to do that anymore. And certainly, if you had done that in another country, you would face jail time for that sort of thing. But anyway, you have had your 15 minutes and goodbye. All right, what else was in the news, guys? What else was in the news? I'm trying to think here. Maybe I should consult my phone and see. Those were the topics, though, that resonated with me over the past few days. Yeah, but there were other things happening in the news. I want to see if I can find something else here that was in the news over this week here that just passed by. Well, I'm trying to find something that was in the news this week here. Okay, all right, so somebody just sent me something, but I am not addressing that right now. Also, guys, somebody sent me a video. Somebody sent me a video showing a party in Jamaica. And that party is being attended by just men and their guns. Can you imagine that? A party full of men. I think they said the party was happening in Montego Bay. And there, I know right now Jamaica has a gang problem in Montego Bay. Montego Bay is now the criminal capital, where people are just being robbed all day long. People are being held up, shot, killed. It is getting bad down there. It's bad down there in Montego Bay. Montego Bay is our second city. It's getting really, really bad down there. But somebody sent me a video showing a party. It's a party. And inside of the party is just men, and more men. But you think there are men in the party? You want to see guns? You want to see guns? The man them have some big old long gun sling over their shoulders, and they are in a party, a public party. But how the police going to apprehend these people? One man a walk with 3 gun here, so gun in his side, and long gun sling over his shoulders. Where Jamaican young men get all these guns? Where are the trade schools for these people? I said, Lord have mercy. When I saw the video, I couldn't believe it. I said, this can't Jamaica. I said, this cannot be Jamaica. I can't Jamaica this. When people are walk openly with long old machine gun and them number 9 and them 22 and all this, and they are just out there having a party. Usually when you see a party, you see, females and, nice party going on. There is not one female to be seen in the party. Guns on the floor, guns on shoulders, gun in waist, gun in hand. Everybody's like a gun party. It's like a party, an arsenal party. Everybody has an arsenal of weapons just everywhere. What do they plan to do with these weapons? To kill you, me, every tourist, everybody in Jamaica? I mean, the biggest fear in Jamaica right now is being killed by a gun. Because these people have no fear. They don't fear the police at all. They don't fear anybody. Because you would think that somebody who is afraid of the police, afraid of the consequences of engaging in this kind of illegal activity, they would not be so emboldened. Me say the people, them bright, subtle. They're not hiding their faces. They are just having a good time. It's like, I don't know, it's like a Christmas, like Grand Market. Like when I was growing up and we had a Grand Market party. Christmas Eve night where you had a party. It's like that is what they are engaging in, like, because nobody's hiding their faces, it's like no concern at all. People are just out doing what they want to do. A gun on your shoulder in public, like it's a war zone in Syria or in Iraq or someplace like that. Can you imagine? I couldn't believe it was Jamaica, but it was. And that hurts. Because that's my country. And I would love to be able to go back to Jamaica and, go back to Jamaica and be able to move around freely and peacefully and not be worried. But nowadays we keep hearing of so many people who return to Jamaica and the next thing you know, they get killed. Because people think they come from abroad, they come with a bag of money. They don't know sometimes when we come to Jamaica, it's on credit card we come, When we come back, we have tons of credit card bills to pay back. We don't come with no money. And people are down there killing people because they think that because you were in America, you're in England or in Canada, wherever, you must have come back with a ton of money. When you ain't come back with a dime, you ain't come back with nothing, you ain't got nothing. A lot of people over here working 3-4 jobs just to make ends meet. And for them to go to Jamaica, they have to save up to a partner and all of this just to be able to go back. And when they go back, they get robbed. And when they come back, they still have the bills to pay. They live to come back because a lot of people don't live to come back because the criminals don't only take what you have, but they take your life as well. So it's sort of getting very hard to be in Jamaica. Getting very hard. You know, when I think about going back, each time I think about going back, I get so nervous because I'm like, oh my God, please, may the powers of Christ be with me while I go and help me to come back safely. That's always been my prayer. But anywho, guys, I am making, okay, all right. We're going to give this this bread. Let me see what the box says. The box says to bake at okay. It says to bake. It doesn't give a time, but it says bake as directed or until wooden pick inserted in center comes out clean. That's what it says. So we're going to wait until, we're going to give it another like say 15-20 minutes. And then when that time is up, we're going to stick a wooden skewer in it, see if it is finished baking. If it is finished baking, then we will move right along. But if not, we will give it some more time. Okay, I was seeing this where, you know, it's been 1 year since that young lady from Jamaica, Miss Dean, the blind lady. It's been a whole year since she was abducted and nobody has seen or heard a word from her since then. She's blind, she can't see, but she was abducted, trying to take a taxi, unable to see, but still going to school. And there are all these able-bodied men, able to do everything, to see, to hear, to feel, to walk, to talk, to do everything. And they can't find anything useful to do with themselves. And this young woman is blind. And she's going to school. And they kidnap her, take her away. It's been a whole year since nobody has either seen or heard from her. And we continue to wonder, what happened to Jasmine Dean? What happened to her? Nobody can give us any answers. And I know the police have been working tirelessly to find this young woman. And we are waiting in the wings just for them to announce something. I haven't seen anything that says, you know, this is the person responsible. I know the police have arrested people who were caught with her credit card, with her computer, that sort of thing. But I want to see somebody get charged and somebody get to go to prison, or somebody who is going to say what happened to her, or for her to come back. You know, the chances of her coming back alive at this point are very, very, very slim, unless somebody has been holding her hostage for this whole year. We really don't know what happened to Jasmine. And I can only imagine the pain her family still goes through. Her dad in particular has been very vocal about trying to find his daughter and asking for help from all the public, from all of us, if we can help him locate his daughter. I mean, these are some of the wicked things that as mankind we do to each other. As mankind, these are the kinds of things that we do to each other. Now, a young woman who is already disabled, she can't see well. And as able-eyed people, we are supposed to help her. And instead of helping her, somebody helps themselves to her and take her off her route and take her out of society, take her away from her family. Nobody knows what has happened to Jasmine Dean until now. That is sad. That is very, very sad. But we are hoping and praying that that will be sorted out very soon. I don't know how much sooner can it be than it should have been a year ago. But we're still praying. We're still hoping. We still haven't lost faith. Another story from Jamaica. Oh, I saw this story. Let's see if there was another one. There are so many stories. So many stories coming out of Jamaica. So many stories. And you wonder if there isn't stuff happening where I live in America. Yes, there are stuff happening here, but I love my country, and there are lots of stuff. There's a lot of stuff happening in my country, you know. I also saw a story about a 13-year-old child who is now pregnant. A 13-year-old girl in Clarendon who is now pregnant. And it's also believed that this child was raped by her stepfather. That brings me, guys, that brings me to another conversation. A conversation I wasn't planning on having today, but a conversation that needs to be had. That conversation has been had so many times, but it cannot be had enough because it is a continuing problem. As mothers, I understand the need to want a partner. We all have that need and that desire to have a partner. And oftentimes the partner we have is not the father of our daughters. I'm thinking about what I'm saying here very carefully. I don't want what I'm saying to be misconstrued. Who is more important? Our daughters or our mates? Our children are more important. For those of you who are struggling with the answer, our children are more important. Men. Nasty, dirty, workless men. Who may I talk to? Because I'm not going to talk about the mothers wanting a mate. Yes, they want a mate. But that is not the problem. The problem is not because I want a man. That is not the problem. Because I cannot stop myself from wanting a man. Yes, I want a man. I can make decisions as to how I entertain this man. But that is not the problem. The problem is with the dirty man them. The dirty man them who they only want to be with a woman who has daughters. Yes. Because they want to go in this woman's house and they want to molest the woman's daughters. Yes. Who no me talk to? The dirty man. Who no dirty man. I want to go to the woman's life. I want to inviggle the little pit to them. To keep secret. Who no pay them off and who no buy them out. Yes, with candy and $20. And then who no rape them. Get them pregnant, molest them, destroy them, and then uno get up and uno go about in the business. And a lot of times, the poor mother them so shame, so ashamed that they don't want to take action. You know, but these dirty men need to go to prison. The dirty man them what these women are laying up with, and then the dirty man them a come rape off your daughters. These dirty men need to go to prison. Enough have no mercy on them. No mercy whatsoever. Them for go to prison. And left a little pitney them make them come to fruition. And stop from rape off a little pitney them. Imagine you're there in the house with the mother. And she not good enough for you. She not enough for you. You turn around and rape the little 13-year-old pitney. Rape the little 13-year-old pitney and get her pregnant. Like, seriously? I don't know where them dirty man you come from. Where them dirty man you come? Where them come from? You go in the house and you rape you are with the mother and you rape the daughter, get her pregnant, now destroy her future. Now the poor pitney is a child, going to have a child. And you see how not perpetuate the cycle of inadequacy, this cycle of poverty, this cycle of nothingness, this cycle of depression in our country. Because the poor pitney them, when you get them pregnant and then drop out of school, now is another mouth to feed. They are not equipped to care for a baby. They're not equipped. It's one more mouth to feed. And forgot prison. And forgot they're at prison. Because I need to stop it. Stop from impregnating little pitney them. Jeez, man. Watch it. You know, I was looking for a wooden skewer. Hold on there, guys. Let me see if I find a wooden skewer somewhere. I'm looking for a wooden skewer to stick in that cake. But I cannot. Oh, the wooden skewer is okay. You know, so this is a wooden skewer somewhere. I say, you know, some there me yard, you know, there me yard, find things them right away. Well, guys, well, I don't see any, you know. I don't see any wooden screws, you know, guys. So you don't know what I'm going to have to use. I know I saw some. I thought I saw some a few days ago. Well, I don't see any wooden screws, guys. I'm looking. Thought I saw some the other day, but hey, I don't see any. So I'm going to have to. All right, the bread is baking there. Let me see some wooden screws there. Let's see more. Well, this apple man there, your own yard. Well, all right, guys. I don't see any wooden screw, guys. So therefore, I'm going to just use a knife. I'm going to use a knife. While I do that, I'm going to be washing up all the things that I have here. Yeah. So those are the things I'm talking about, guys. Yeah, because teenage pregnancy is a big problem in Jamaica. Big problem. I mean, I saw an article this week that said that 2 out of 10 children that are born in Jamaica are born to teenage mothers. That statistic is, you know, we would rather not have teenage mothers. We would rather not, because of the implications it has, the negative implications it has on society, really. Because a young girl who is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 is not yet equipped to care for a child. And so this child becomes a burden to a family that is sometimes often stretched thin. And then they have to worry about this child and worry about the mother who also has not finished her education. She needs to finish her education. Now this child needs to be educated, and we need to, you know, they both basically are going to be growing up together. and who is going to be taking care of them? Usually a teenager who gets pregnant, oftentimes it is a family member, a close family friend, stuff like that. And because there is so much emotional attachment, that person may not even, be charged with the crime, because it is indeed a crime. It is a crime to have sex with children under 16. It is. We have to do better, men. Men, I'm not a man, but men, you all have to do better. You have to do better. And to my sisters out there, we have a responsibility for our bodies. And we have a responsibility to not leave ourselves that careless to get pregnant at such a young age. There is no trophy to be had for being a teenage mother. There is no trophy at the end of the line when you have brought another child in on your parents to take care of, and then they have to take care of you, take care of this new child. Then you have to get an education. Some teenagers are very fortunate. They have been able to have supportive family members who are able to send them back to school and to help them to get an education. Not all teenagers are that fortunate. So my sisters, I'm telling you, you all need to take the reins of yourself in your own hands. Don't leave it up to chance. I know a lot of people don't want to use contraceptive, but if as a teenager you are sexually active, you need to consider some form of birth control. We already know you're not supposed to be having sex, but if you are, we don't want you to end up as a statistic, because that's what happens. You become a statistic. You get pregnant. You have a child. Now you have yourself to worry about. You have a child to worry about. How equipped are you to care for another human being? How? You are not even equipped to care for yourself. You have to be depending on somebody. Now you are depending on your parents, and now your baby has to be depending on your parents. Do you see that there is more burden? Yeah. And you don't want to be a burden to society, and you don't want to be a burden to your parents, and you don't want to be a burden to anybody around you. So it is wise that you stay in school, complete your education so you can be able to get a good job, to be able to care for yourself and the children you create. Do not do it prematurely, because there's no trophy to be had at the end of the road. And those of us who have gotten trophies at the end of the road, we can only say thanks to our family members who were willing to step in and step up because we couldn't. All right, let's see now, guys, what's going on with this bread. I can't find a screw, so I'm going to find a knife. A knife always works. A knife always works. All right, I'm gonna have to get these washed up, and let's see. All right, it doesn't look like it is finished. I didn't have to poke it, but in the center it doesn't look like it's finished. So we're going to continue chatting. What else are we talking about? I talk about the teenage pregnancy with that guy who, that young lady who was impregnated by the stepfather. These dirty men need to be punished, castrated, and punished. Yes, mothers should protect their kids, but also I mean, I have I have looked over this all the comments from this case where this woman was being where this young girl, 13-year-old, was impregnated by her stepfather, and I see where a lot of people are bashing the mother, which I know that that is the easiest thing to do, but I'm not bashing the mothers. I am bashing the dirty man, the person who commit the act. That is the person I am bashing. I am not bashing the mother, because there are lots of women out there who have had relationships with men who are not the father of their children, and the children don't get raped. But if the children get raped, how you going to blame the mother? Me not blaming the mother. I am blaming the dirty man them. Castrate them, put them in prison. That's what I say. Yes. Castrate them and put them in prison. That's what I say. Because the poor little pit them can't even get to grow up in peace. Look up at them can't grow up in peace. If them can't reach 18 with them virginity, take the old dirty crosses them. The pit them cannot reach. As soon as the little pit them start bust up like a breast, you see the crosses they will come around. Sure. These things make me upset. You understand? And women, if you need to stay single and take care of your pitney them. Stay single if you need to stay single. And take care of your children, especially your little girls. But nowadays, the man them a rape girl and them a rape boys. But if you need to take care of your children, do it out, man. Stay by yourself and raise your pitney them. You understand? Sometimes I understand the poverty, you need the two income and that kind of thing. But sometimes you have to sacrifice. My father been dead since I was 8 years old. You know, so I never see my mother with a man. When my mother got married, I was 33 years old. When my mother found a man I married, I was 33 years old. You understand me? And my father been dead since I was 8. I never see my mother bring a man in the house yet. You understand me? Me never see a man say a stepfather. You understand me? From my father did. Me never see a man come in at the house and take off him choices, hang it up behind the door. Never. You understand? And I applaud my mother for that. Wish me could have been the same. But I applaud her for being that strong. You know? I mean, some women do it. Some of us don't. I mean, what am I to say? You know, I mean, this is just cruel and wickedness for these grown men to be sleeping with these little children and getting these little children pregnant. And I don't know how a 13-year-old is supposed to go through childbearing and, you know, childbirthing and that sort of thing. It is just sad. It is very, very sad. Very, very sad. It is very sad. What's the next topic, guys? Who is going to give me a topic we're going to talk about today? Oh, Kim and Kanye divorcing. Oh, well. I saw that coming 10 moons ago. Sorry to hear. That's rich people's problem right now. Anywho, moving right along. I'm trying here on Facebook to see if I find something. Okay. All right, guys. Tonight, At 9 o'clock, you know the place to be is on the Unstoppable Show. Unstoppable TV Live. That's where you go at 9 o'clock tonight. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's where the boss will light up your screen. Your phone screen, your TV screen, whichever screen you're looking at. Just go to YouTube. Unstoppable Live. All right. Let's see what else is going on. All right. Yes, I spoke about Mr. Radcliffe already, where he said to give these criminals 50 years. If you catch them at 19, give them 50 years. They come out, they're 69. Good enough time. They live a few more years before we bury them. Yes, I mean, but does Jamaica have the infrastructure to keep all these people in prison for this long? Maybe we have to develop the infrastructure so that we can keep them in prison, because some of these people are incorrigible. They are not capable of being rehabilitated. Some of these people are just cold-blooded murderers, cold-blooded killers, you know. So, I mean, how are you going to rehabilitate them? But nothing beats a trial but a failure. So we can try. If it doesn't work, then back to jail they go. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Let's see what is on here. Okie dokie. All right, guys, let's make sure this bread is finished cooking. Now, you guys, this is the first time that I'm using this Streamlab thing. I don't know if it is working properly, but I have used it. I mean, now this is an hour and something that I've been on it, and it is just ticking. But I don't know if it works. But whether it worked or not, I didn't see anybody. So I don't know whether or not it came on. So let me stick my knife into my bread and see how it has turned out. All right, the bread is still rising, guys. The bread is not yet done. So I'm going to stay here for the next 10 minutes until the bread is finished. Once the bread is finished, we are going to go over. It is now almost 5:30. At 6 o'clock, there about 6 o'clock, 6:30, we are going to be doing Swords in Hand. I'll be doing Swords in Hand, hosting Swords in Hand tonight for about an hour and a half, starting at around 6:30. So you can join me back here, guys. When we're going to do Swords in Hand, you're going to get whether it's your Bible on your phone, whether it's your Bible, the book, whichever one, go ahead and get it together, because about 6:30, so thereabout, I am going to be hosting the Swords in Hand on my YouTube channel, Trev Unstoppable. So if it is your first time on my channel, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning traveler, thank you for your continued support. Over here, I do anything and everything that I like to do. I mean, I just have fun over here. It is fun. It is my channel is it's a work in progress. It's new, and I'm trying to get it up and going, and so one day it will come to fruition. But right now we are working it just to get a feel of the environment for my channel, and we're going to be growing step by step, one day at a time. Yep. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking of you. Give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. So for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. Who remember that song? I don't know why that song just came to me, but it just... I'm only human, and I'm just a woman. Help me believe in what I should be and know that I am. I'm trying to remember the words as I go along. Show me the stairway, something like that. I had to climb, Lord, for my sake. Teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking of you. Give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. So for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. Do you remember when you walked among men? I don't remember the rest, the words. Cheating and stealing, heartaches and crime. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking of you. Give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday is gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. So for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. Yes, guys, one day at a time. One day at a time. Let me check this bread. Okay, guys, I'm going to be showing you the bread. All right, we want our bread to be nice and moist. I do not like my bread to be dry. So I'm giving my bread 1 more minute because my knife came out with just a little bit of moisture on it. I am not going to be waiting until my knife come out completely dry, because that means my bread is a little too dry. And I like my bread to be moist and moldy. Nice, like I can mold it. Nice bread. I don't like my bread to be too dry. So this looks like it's getting there. So I am going to be taking my bread out of the oven, and then I'm going to show you right here. This is supposed to be an icing to put on the bread. I'm not putting icing on the bread. I'm sorry. No, I am not. I refuse to put icing on the bread that's already sweet. All right, guys. There it is. Let's see how this has turned out. Let me show it to you. There you go, guys. This is the bread I just took out of the oven. And this is that pumpkin bread. Let's just turn it. It's still a little bit warm. So we're going to turn it out. Oops, I'm not doing it right there. All right, it has a little bit of batter that has it stuck to the side here. So I'm just going to run my knife all around the perimeter of my cake before I turn it upside down. And I have another thing here. No, this one. All right, so we're going to just turn our cake upside down on this dish here. And there you have it. Oh, okay. Got a little piece stuck here to the bottom. We can always fill that back in, just like so. There we go. Fill it right on back in, just like that. And then I can turn my cake upside downside up now. You can do yours wherever you want. You can flip it on another plate. You can flip it on a cake cooler. You can do it however you like. No, I do things my way. There it is. Delicious looking bread. Let's cut into it and see what it looks like. I wish you guys could taste it. Unfortunately, you are not able to taste it. So I'm going to be cutting into it. And this is the end part of the bread that I always find to be super delicious. There it is, guys. This bread is nice and moist. Do you see it? I wish you all could taste it because it looks like it's going to be super delicious. Let's see. Yes. The pumpkin flavor. When it hits your palate with the apple flavor, it is super, super delicious. Go ahead, guys. Try to make yourself a pumpkin bread. Apple pumpkin bread. You may not want to use the box if you don't like, but if you want to, you can use it from the box as well. I used this from the box. It was my first time using it from the box, and it came out pretty good. So go ahead and try to make yourself an apple pumpkin bread and see how it turns out. You might also want to add something else to it. I'm allergic to nuts, so I didn't add any nuts, but I would have. You can add some almonds, peanuts, whatever your liking is. to it. You might not even want to add peaches or something like that. Go ahead, personalize it. Make it how you like it. Because this was super delicious. Guys, go ahead and make yourself some. And let me know in the comments below how yours turn out. Until next time, guys, this is Trev from Trev Essence reminding you to always take good care of yourselves and each other.